When you learn how to hold yourself rightly, awakening becomes a natural occurrence. The problem with awakening is you don't know it's there. You only know after it is awakened. So it's almost limited by your knowing. Your knowing will not allow anything beyond your knowing to be present. So what is beyond your knowing still remains in the dark, asleep. So the only thing we can do is to hold ourselves in a way that this may happen spontaneously, naturally. It is like the notion of I. Whatever you know yourself as, you limit yourself to that knowing. Beyond that, your senses will not allow you to detect. So you're limited by your knowing. Now, how do one go beyond that blindness? I'm prescribing these rights. When you hold this right rightly, this rights has a way to undo this blindness and help you discover some incredible truth about you and your ability and your state of being. I'm making this statement by saying you are already born complete. You just have to be awakened to it. There's no real meaning into the word attainment. It's simply the understanding of becoming awake. Now the second right is about being with what is. Even though this sounds simple, but it's one of the most difficult things for a human being to do. Most people are being with anything in their life based on the limitation they live by. Once we did not know we can fly by building aircraft or sail the sea. We lived that blindness until someone became awake to it. Then that myth was broken. Now to be with what is not to be limited by one's blindness. It is to stay true to whatever that is there, and by staying true to whatever that is there, one is not limited by it. One opens the door for something more. So you say, this is where I'm at. Even though it's a declaration of one's blindness, but the declaration of one's blindness doesn't keep one blind forever. To be with what is to give your system a chance to wake up. Most people are not with what is. They are with what is limited within them. They project their limitation to life. Somebody looks at life and he limits life to his limitation. And is sure about his limitation and live within that limited truth. To stay with what is to stay exactly where one is, and not to make that the final destination, is simply to know this is where I am. Not as a fatalistic approach, is the point in my journey. So now today, if you may, just breathe and see whether you can be with what is in your life right now. So you see your life exactly how it is. And in that seeing your life exactly how it is without reducing it to you, the opportunity to door for something more may come to be. So the second right is learning how to be with things exactly as how they are. To be with you exactly how you are. Now, as you and I breathe together, if you're staying with what is, you will quickly detect there is more to you. It's just it is not accessible. You will come to see life can become more. It seems to be the experience of everybody who touch what is there. Now for a few minutes, if you may, breathe with me. And just sit with what is, the second right. The first right is not to be affected, to wake up to that part that is beyond effect. The second right is to stay with what is. Not to make it more or less. And more so, not to be limited by it. This is where you are. It doesn't mean it's where you will end up. This is what is happening. It's not what should be happening or can happen. is just learning how to be with what is. You may just stay with your body, with your mind, with your current condition, with how you are feeling, but you are staying with what is without escaping it. You see, the escaping what is limiting things only to be what is, and learning to survive with only that. That is a crippling action. As you and I breathe together, can we learn to simply sit and be with what is? Just for a few minutes today, if you may, just breathe and be with what is.